Hello everyone, welcome to This Day. It is Friday, it is July 25th. I'm Michael Taylor, glad to be here on this Friday. Are you excited about your weekend? Any big plans or anything like that? I just thought of the fact that I have no have-tos for this weekend. Everything I'm going to do this weekend is going to be elective. I'm kind of liking that idea. It's going to be nice and relaxed. No honey-do list for me. I'm excited. Hope you are too about the weekend. But before we head into the weekend, let's talk about our show today. And we've got a good one for you. We're going to be welcoming onto the show Nurse Next Door's Chris Farmer. He is going to be talking about the services they provide for people here in the community and outside the community as well. If you have loved ones or you're in need yourself of some assistance, might be a good one to watch for sure. Then Sports Corner, we talk about all the trades going on in the NBA, all sorts of other things. Cole Young's going to be here on Sports Corner talking to us in just a minute. And then later in the program, more information from Ting. We're going to be talking to Liam Mullally. Lots of great information. They're already in the community. They're already moving the wires through, digging holes, doing stuff. You've already seen them in your area already. Going to be hearing more from Ting about all the things they're doing here in the community, so stay tuned for that. Right now, though, we got a great community event coming up for Stay Informed, and we want to tell you about it. It is going to be the Unity Festival, and it is going to be on September 30th, so mark those calendars. It's going to be from 4 to 7:30. It's our debut of this. All the mutuals, all the folks are getting together to do this whole Unity Festival. It's a celebration. Cultures, community, foods, music are going to be here. They're going to have an international tasting tour that you can buy tickets for. So if you want to hit all these food trucks, they're going to have all this international cuisine from all places around the world. That's going to be $20. Those are going to go on sale in August. But the rest of it's just going to be come and enjoy great music, big stage music. Some bands are going to be there, and then some smaller stages are going to be going on. So looks like it's going to be a really fun event. So make sure you mark that calendar. Tickets go on sale in August. We'll be telling you more about that as that happens. All right, let's take a check of our weather, and we've got a great temperature set up for this weekend. And as I warned you the other day, we're going to start getting warmer. Summer is really going to start hitting us after this weekend. So make sure you enjoyed this weekend because we're going to have some warm temperatures coming up. 70s for today, mid-70s, 70s for tomorrow, 70s, high 70s for Sunday. Then we start getting warm up on Monday and Tuesday where we start feeling the actual summer that we've been anticipating. Just felt like July 4th was the other day, and already we're at the end of the month. So yeah, we're into the July, August times of our summers here where we get into the 80s a lot. So enjoy the cooler temperatures for this weekend. Let's take a look at our sunrise and sunset. Beautiful picture here from Vatican Museum. Thank you, Lori Maloa, for sending this one to us. Now this one isn't horizontal as I usually ask for, but I could not use this picture. It's really cool. So we're making this one work today. Sunrise this morning was 5:58. Sunset tonight is 7:56. If you have a picture from great vacations that you may have taken or just right here in the community, we'd love to see pets as well, cats, dogs, whatever you got around. We'd love to see those. Make sure you send them to us by email. LagunaWoodsVillageTV@gmail.com is the email address. We'd love to see your pictures. We love putting them on there. Make sure you include your name, like Lori did. Make sure you tell us where you took the picture, and try to make them horizontal. I'll use them sometimes anyway, but it fits on our screen better if they're horizontal. So make sure you do that. Turn that camera sideways on your phone there and take those pictures for us. All right, folks, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to be talking with the folks from Nurse Next Door. Stay with us.
Home is more than a place. It's where you feel safe, supported, and truly yourself. At Nurse Next Door, we provide personalized in-home care, from companionship to 24/7 support, guided by our Happier Aging philosophy. We believe aging should be about rediscovering joy, purpose, and the freedom to do what you love on your terms. Locally owned and proudly serving your community. Call today and ask about your free care consultation.
And welcome back to the show. Nurse Next Door, they believe that aging should be celebrated, not feared. I'm not sure about the celebration part, but I'm not going to fear it. I want to welcome Chris Farmer from Nurse Next Door to the program. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Yes.
So, Chris, tell us in general about Nurse Next Door for folks who don't know. It's your first time here.
Yeah, so we, as I said, we believe that age should be celebrated, not feared, right? Some people do lose their ability to do things that they used to love to do, right? But maybe they can't do it anymore. They can't It's hard for them to get around. They don't have the ride. They don't have the people to take care of them, right? So we believe in happier aging. We ask one simple question. What did you used to do that you no longer can do that you love to do, right? Maybe as simple as baking cookies, right? Or gardening, right? Maybe you used to like to go have coffee with your friends or get breakfast or go to a movie or shopping, right? So we make those things simple. We try to incorporate those things into our care, right? We take you out and get your groceries. One of the things that we did recently was we took somebody to go down and sit at Doheny Beach, spent the afternoon, had some lunch. I took somebody to go fishing off of the pier in San Clemente on a Wednesday. That was a super fun event, and it just makes everybody happy and enjoy their time.
Now, it's called Nurse Next Door, but it's maybe a little bit of a misnomer. These are caregivers. Sometimes it's people with some medical background, that kind of thing, right? But it depends on the client and what their needs are, right?
100%. Yeah, we're not licensed to do medical care, as nursing is in the name. We're working our way to get there. At some point, we will be there. But we have caregivers who are vetted by the DOJ and the FBI. They're happy to do what they do, and that's kind of what we look for. We look for people who actually care about caring, right? So,
and since you mentioned, like when you invite someone in your home, that's a very personal thing, and they're going to be there maybe on a regular basis, and maybe daily, and that kind of thing. So there is a background check that you want to do to make sure that the people that you're bringing into people's home are because it's like, hey, I don't want a stranger in my home, and it's a very vulnerable spot when that first starts, right?
They're very vulnerable. Imagine you're in the hospital, right? You're being moved around room to room throughout the hospital. Maybe you get released and you go into nursing care facility for rehabilitation for a little bit. You're unsure of what type of care will be provided for you when you finally get out. It's a very stressful time for everybody involved. So we're a local company. We could come in, we can get a caregiver assigned within 24 hours. They'll help with the whole process of being released from the hospital. They'll help figure out the care plan and what needs to be done, really ease the tension and the stress level that might be on the individual looking for care, but also the family.
Now, speaking of the family, is it the family that usually reaches out to you guys, or is it the people who are living in need, or is it a little bit of a mix of both?
It's really a mix of both. A lot of times it is a family. They're looking for care for their loved one, right? Because it is kind of hard to navigate who has the caregivers, who's in the area, who's going to be able to have the person and the right person who's going to come in at the right time, right? So we do speak to pretty much anyone within the family. We've got a family care portal for family members to log in to look at care plans and evaluate what's going on and look at task notes when the caregivers come in. They have to essentially check off that they've created a task or completed a task and put the information in there. Right.
Is it a kind of a sense of relief and takes the burden off the family members, especially ones who are living out of state, that they know that there's I can check this, I can see this, things are going okay, that kind of gives them a sense of relief?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. We're open 24/7. We've got a 24/7 care line. Our people are there to answer the phone for anything, right? Answer questions, schedule a visit, do a virtual consultation. If anything happens in the middle of the night, we're there. You can always give the line a call, and we can get a caregiver dispatched. If it's after hours, it's super easy for us to do. So it brings peace of mind, right? So somebody's always available for somebody that in need at any time. Yeah.
What's the process like when you first start? You guys go into someone's home and kind of do an assessment on this. Here's what your needs are. They may be saying one thing, but maybe you recognize something else when you're in there.
Yes. So I was going and we're evaluating the needs, right? So I'm evaluating the people as much as they're evaluating me, right? So what's the condition of the house? Do they have any pets? If so, what kind of pet is it? Is it a dangerous looking animal? I have to alert my caregivers to that, make sure that they're comfortable with the situation as well as the person being comfortable with us and who we're bringing in, right? So we're evaluating the type of care that needs to be done, the environment, the foods that the person might be interested in having around in their home. Do they smoke? Anything that might be that might impact their care, but also impact the caregiver coming in as well.
Do you get the sense that people, they want to stay in their homes, right? I don't want to get shipped off to a nursing home or that kind of sense of that, right? So is it important? Do people do better in their homes with a caregiver there?
Yeah, well, your home is obviously the safest place to be. It's the most comfortable place for you to be, right? And we want to keep you in that situation for as long as you possibly can be there, right? And the home is wherever that might be. It could be your own personal residence. It could be in a care facility. We can bring our caregivers wherever that might be, right? So we want to keep you there, right? And we always do what's called a happier first visit as well. So we like to ensure that people are are comfortable with us and what we're doing, and you're like a family when you come in with us, family member.
And what are the levels of service that you guys can do in terms of like someone who maybe needs a little bit of help here and there to like almost like 24/7 care?
Yeah, well, that obviously depends, right? So it depends upon the situation. So we work with people of all ages, people with developmental disabilities, as well as people who are senior care, obviously. So we develop a care plan around what that entails, right? Because care for someone who's senior is different than somebody with disabilities, but still relatively the same. I mean, someone who's a senior, we're helping them do the things that they can no longer do, whereas someone with developmental disabilities, we're helping them with the things that they can't do, but also try to teach them at the same time so that when no one is around, they can do those things on their own, right? So we're always trying to build that, and we're always trying to get the right person in there, right? Yeah?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
You, Chris Farmer, how did you get into this? I mean, this isn't something that you just kind of jump into. Hey, this seems like a great business. Was there something in your life, an event, or did you say, hey, this is a service I want to be able to provide?
Well, I always knew it was a service that I wanted to go into. I've had issues with my parents. My wife has had issues with her parents. Early on in my career, I was actually doing an in-home medical device, a medication dispenser that helps people stay on track so that they don't have to go to the hospital. We started selling that into hospitals, clinical trials, health plans, started selling into assisted living facilities. And that's when I really saw that there really was a true need to care for people in their home. It's really easy for people to get injured or to not take their medications properly, and then they have to go to the hospital, and it creates a whole chain reaction of events, right? So I knew that there was a route for us to go in and really care for people and prevent that hospitalization. No one wants to go to the hospital. It's not a fun place to be. I mean, people are nice, right? But you have people coming in all the time and keeping you awake, so everybody just wants to stay home. Yeah.
And do you think, I would imagine this is an easy answer for you. Do you think that this kind of service keeps people from having to go to the hospital and keeps people on track? And if they're being monitored, you know things are coming up, especially if, hey, I'm seeing a medical condition, and your folks can maybe recognize, hey, we need an adjustment, maybe we need to do some things here.
Right, yeah, we just recently saw somebody who wasn't taking their meds in the evening time. We got there in the morning and they were lightheaded and dizzy, and we realized, we took a look at their pill pack, and geez, last 2 nights you haven't taken these PM pills. So we ensured that we were with them that whole day, and then we actually built in an additional visit that evening. We call it a 1-hour premium visit, where we come in and just do a health welfare check.
Right.
Ensured that she took her meds at night, and we got her going back on schedule again, as well as setting up reminders within her phone. So
yeah, so it can really serve as kind of prevention.
Absolutely,
sense,
100%
right?
prevention. We want to keep you in home for as long as possible. Yeah.
How long have you been doing this? When did this all start?
So we have been in business for about 1.5 years now, right? So we've been doing this here locally. We actually started up in Northern California about 7 years ago with a partner up there. Nurse Next Door is a large brand. It's been around for over 20 years now. They started in Vancouver, Canada, but they're in the US, the UK, Australia. They're really building a big thing right now, and I think it really is because of their care service team and the care portal that we have and the people that we hire.
What do you love most about doing what you do?
Just the people that I get to meet. It really is fun to meet the people and to help them, right? You really feel for them when they're going through certain situations, especially if they have a loved one who might be in the hospital, and it just feels good to actually help and provide a difference, right? So that's where we're at here. We
There
like
you
that.
go. Well, thank you very much, Chris Farmer, Nurse Next Door. We appreciate you being here today.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay.
You're watching This Day. We'll be right back.
Hello and welcome to this Friday's episode of Sports Corner. I'm Cole Young, and while we're still in one of the slowest periods in sports, there's still some fun stuff to cover, so I'll get right to it. Starting with the NBA, the free agency period is upon us, and there have already been some pretty big moves. Last weekend, and arguably the biggest move so far, guard Marcus Smart agreed to a contract buyout with the Washington Wizards and subsequently signed a 2-year, $11 million deal with the Los Angeles Lakers after clearing waivers. Smart was the 2022 Defensive Player of the Year with the Boston Celtics, leading them to an NBA Finals appearance where they would lose in 6 games to the Golden State Warriors. He also is 3-time All-Defense first-team member, and after leaving Boston, Smart spent 1 season with the Memphis Grizzlies before being traded to the Washington Wizards. It was reported that Luka Doncic played a large part in recruiting Marcus Smart to the Lakers. The Lakers also reached an agreement on a 2-year deal with free agent center DeAndre Ayton, adding some much-needed size to their roster. Ayton was the #1 overall pick back in 2018 and played a pivotal role in the Phoenix Suns NBA Finals run back in 2021. Another big name that is heading to a new/old team is 12-time All-Star Chris Paul. The free agent point guard is returning for his 21st season and potentially his final season, this time running it back with the Los Angeles Clippers. Paul played for the Clippers for 6 seasons from 2011 to 2017, during which he was a 5-time All-Star. He was also selected to 5 All-NBA teams, the most in franchise history. And he had 4,023 assists with the Clippers, also the most in their history. Paul, who was selected 4th by the New Orleans Hornets in 2005 and was named the NBA's Rookie of the Year that season, has 12,499 assists and 2,717 steals in his career, second all-time in both categories. It seems the theme this NBA season has been players returning to their former teams. Last week, 9-time NBA All-Star Damian Lillard agreed to a 3-year, $42 million contract to return to the Portland Trail Blazers. Lillard was waived by the Milwaukee Bucks earlier this month, in part due to him tearing his left Achilles in late April in Game 4 of the Bucks' first-round playoff series with the Indiana Pacers, and then following that, undergoing surgery in early May. Lillard spent 11 seasons with the Trail Blazers, making 7 All-Star appearances and 7 All-NBA teams. He led Portland to the playoffs 8 times, including a Western Conference Finals appearance in 2018. He ranks 1st in team history in points and three-pointers, and 2nd in assists. Including the regular season and playoffs, Lillard has 7 55-point games with the Trail Blazers. No other player in franchise history has any such games. There have been a few other moves here and there, but when the major announcements drop, I'll be sure to report them here. Moving over to the NFL, last week I reported on a ton of new record-breaking contracts that have been signed. If you recall, at the end of the segment, I said that by the time that show aired, there'll probably be another record-breaking contract. Turns out, I was right. Pittsburgh Steelers edge rusher TJ Watt agreed to a 3-year extension that will make him the highest-paid non-quarterback in NFL history again. Watt agreed to a 3-year, $123 million extension with $108 million fully guaranteed. While that's an absurd amount of money, it's well-deserved. Watt leads the NFL with 73.5 sacks in the past 5 seasons. As the 2021 NFL Defensive Player of the Year, Watt led the league in sacks for 3 of his 8 seasons, and he led in forced fumbles twice, including last season. He truly is one of the most dominant defensive players, potentially in NFL history. Speaking of NFL football, we'll get to see live football next week. The Detroit Lions will play the Los Angeles Chargers in the 2025 Pro Football Hall of Fame game at 5 p.m. on Thursday, July 31st in Canton, Ohio, as part of the Hall of Fame's Enshrinement Week. While the game itself is not the most exciting, to be honest, considering that starters and often second-string players don't even touch the field, the event is more so to highlight this year's Hall of Fame inductees. The 4 players this year receiving their gold jackets are Eric Allen, Jared Allen, Antonio Gates, and Sterling Sharp. The class of 2025 will be enshrined in the hall at 1 p.m. on Saturday, August 2nd at Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium, right where the game will be played next Thursday. In the coming weeks, I'll do my annual NFL season preview, where I give a look at how teams are looking heading into the season and give a few predictions and see how it all might play out. The kickoff of the college football season is just around the corner as well. The first games of the season will begin on August 23rd, and just like last year, the season will start in Dublin, Ireland. Iowa State and Kansas State will head to Dublin for the first game on ESPN of the year, and kickoff is at 9 a.m. Obviously, I'll cover the start of the season more as the season draws closer. Scottie Scheffler is still on top of the PGA, and he secured another win last weekend to maintain that position. Scheffler scored a 68 on Sunday to cruise to a 4-stroke victory in the Open Championship at Royal Portrush. The number one golfer in the world finished at a whopping 17 under par, delivering yet another dominant performance to win his second major this year and grab the third leg of the career Grand Slam. Here's some statistics that show just how dominant he's been in the past few years. On Sunday, Scheffler became just the fourth player in Open Championship history to shoot 68 or better in all 4 rounds. Scheffler already won the PGA Championship by 5 shots this year. He won the Masters last year by 4 shots and the Masters in 2022 by 3 shots. Before Sunday, no one had ever won each of their first 4 major titles by 3 shots or more. He also became just the 3rd golfer to win multiple majors by 4 or more strokes in a single year. Scheffler has won 20 times worldwide since February of 2022, and this was the 11th straight time he turned a 54-hole lead into a victory. As of this week, he's been ranked number 1 in the world for 117 consecutive weeks. While that number is pretty incredible, here's some perspective. Scheffler would need to remain as the number 1 golfer in the world from now until September of 2028 to tie Tiger Woods' record of 281 consecutive weeks as the top golfer in the world, a streak that lasted him almost 5.5 years. There's no doubt Scheffler will go down as one of the greatest golfers in PGA history, but it's easy to forget just how dominant Tiger Woods was in his prime. With all that said, be sure to enjoy as many sports as you can this weekend. There's still MLB regular season, Formula 1 races, golf, WNBA basketball, and a lot more to enjoy. Come right back next week for more of the top highlights and news stories from all across the sports world. I'm Cole Young. Have a great weekend. I'll see you in August.
The future is Ting, and Ting is here in our community. I want to welcome to the Construction Experience Team Oversight Manager, I guess we'll call that, Leah Mullally. Thanks for joining us.
Very welcome. Glad to be here.
So what is your role in terms of working or interacting directly with the folks here in the community?
Yeah, so I like to think of construction, the communication surrounding construction to be in sort of 3 phases. So the first phase would be communicating with the residents to let them know where and when construction is taking place. Then when the construction teams are in an area, there's communication that goes to the residents to let them know if a street's going to be blocked off or things like this in sort of real time as construction is happening.
Okay.
I like to think of my team as being the sort of the last phase of construction communications with the residents. So if a resident notices anything that doesn't look right once construction is completed, or even during, but let's say, an example of street cones being left behind, or a pile of dirt that didn't get raked out. Perhaps an irrigation line was severed and you don't notice that while you're digging, and now you see a little bit of flooding from an irrigation line.
Okay.
These sorts of things, residents can definitely reach out directly to my team, and then we will work with the construction teams to get those concerns completely put back to the way that they were.
Okay. Well, let's walk through some of the phases. Before you head into a neighborhood, this is the construction's already underway. We're already doing stuff here in the community. But let's say the next neighborhood you go to, what does that communication look like? Is it email blasts? Is it signs of the community? Is it a little bit of everything?
It's a little bit of everything. In terms of the communication to prepare residents for construction, my team isn't actually directly responsible for that, but I believe that it is a mix of communication.
Okay.
Yes.
And so when you're in the community and people have questions about, hey, how long is this trench going to be open or whatever it might be, so then what's the role you guys take? Are you just taking phone calls, or are you responding to emails, or how does that work out?
Yep, so there's 3 different communication channels that residents can use to contact my team. If they go on the Laguna Woods Village website for Ting, they'll notice a little tile there that says Construction Experience. So you click on that tile, that'll bring you into a form, a web form, and the residents can submit the form to us, and there's also a phone number and an email address if they prefer to communicate with us that way.
Okay.
Once a form is submitted, we will reply by email. Unless someone prefers a phone call, we can definitely give them a call as well.
And then, like you said, when you left, when you're finished with it, but say maybe something, there's a pile of dirt here, there is a leak or something like that, what's that response like? Because I imagine sometimes if there's something actually going on, the response has to be maybe sometimes immediate.
Yes. So we will reach out to the construction teams immediately once we learn of any concerns, right? The turnaround should typically be within, I would say, 24 to 48 hours in most cases, unless it's something that's a bit more complicated and needs time to fix.
And when you guys have this philosophy of building with care, is that really the kind of like what your response team is really making sure is happening in the community in terms of like, we want to make sure we're leaving a place better than we found it, in a sense?
Exactly. That really embodies the spirit of what my team is responsible for and what we do. We have obviously quality assurance processes that make sure that these incidents are few and far between, but we do want to catch the rare instances and make sure that we resolve them immediely.
And that's the reality, right? I mean, no matter how well a plan is executed, no matter how things happen, we're all human, and that's one of the parts that we everybody has to have a little grace in that way, right?
Exactly. Yep. We are human, and we know residents, obviously may have some questions as well, and we just want to make sure that everyone feels comfortable about the process and make sure that, like you said, everything is put back the way that it was, and we leave the area in an even better spot than when we found it.
What's the thing you enjoy most about the job you do, and when you come into a community and help solve problems?
I really enjoy the sense of accomplishment when everything is completed. There may be a blemish or two at the end, and my team gets to polish those off. But I just love when a resident starts using the service and realize how fast and reliable it is. It really gives you a sense of completion.
A little pride and ownership in terms of job well done.
Exactly.
There you go. All right, he's with the construction experience team overseeing things, Liam Mullally. Thank you so much for joining us with Ting.
Thank you.
All right, folks, Ting is here. Our ongoing conversations will continue. You're watching Village Television.
What would it feel like to hear better? Many people are trapped in the isolation of poor hearing and don't realize it. Even people that are wearing other hearing aids. No buttons to push or technology to fear. Artificial intelligence and these products do all the work. Don't settle for less. And remember, tell them Stuart sent you.
All right, folks, let's take a quick check of our movies for this weekend. We got some great ones on Friday. Today, Captain Phillips, Tom Hanks, brought to us by City of Hope. It's going to be at 2 p.m. with the subtitles and 6 p.m. without the subtitles. And then on Saturday, we have Mystic River with Sean Penn. That's brought to us by Hoag Orthopedic Institute, 2 p.m. with the subtitles and 6 p.m. without the subtitles. Tomorrow on the program, a really special one. We have the 60th anniversary of Village Television, and former host Rob Merritt is going to be here, and he'll be talking. He visited the History Center. We have that condensed version of that show. We're going to put it on this one for tomorrow, and then we have his whole talk that he did. We're going to make that a special program as well, so stay tuned for that one. For tomorrow, it's going to be Rob Merritt right here. Stay with us. That's going to do it for this edition of This Day. For all of us here at Village Television, we hope you make this day a great one.